You let me know. about 3 and not much now.
So, which event, you've thrown 9 events at this point, which event did you bring in the most revenue? And what was the profitability like? Because of course you spent some money branding, advertising, you had whatever this equipment is, and how much revenue did you bring in one particular event? What was your most profitable?
Okay, my most profitable event was this last 2 years. I had over 450 people attend, and my revenue was $2,500. And the equipment that I acquired, the speakers with any sort of light, black lights, lasers, rainfall lights, basically just all decorative things, and speakers, DJ equipment, which I taught myself, so I don't have to hire anybody. And that's about it for equipment.
So a little bit more detail on that. So like the 4,500 people showed up?
450.
How did you charge? What did you charge?
I charge $5 per person on entry, and we just do wristbands and just have football friends be the security guards as of right now.
And then so like, as you look, obviously y'all are competing for 20,000, 15,000, 10,000, or maybe just 100,000. What would you do with the capital if you, let's say you got $20,000? What would you do with that in particular, and how would you use that to grow from 11,000 revenue to, and I don't, you have a projection for the year this year of total revenue?
I don't have a projection for the year this year, but mostly because last year was a prototype. Basically, I did for all the stuff that I could have, and so I think the stuff on here I can definitely generate probably 5 times as much as last year.
And so what would you do with the money?
With the capital?
Yes.
I go to new locations and buy bigger equipment for all of my events. One more.
With parties and clubs, it's always about that next thing. Why not be yourself and doing something more than that or different? Because if you set up a location and it's like you come to party this, that'll last you, and then you're single. So how do you reinvent yourself? How do you market yourself?
I grow to new locations, and so far I've been able to get a hold of the UU campus. Highway 40, I have a rec center open after hours. And basically, that's what the youth are saying they love the spontaneous things and as a certain age. They only hold that for a year. So grow to new locations and have themes for parties. It's basically like a movie. You can
that I started this when I was 15 years old. Now, the challenge with lawn care is I'm providing a service which anyone can do themselves easily. Only I have to do it better than they can, faster than they can, more efficiently than they can, and it still needs to be at the affordable price. So, knowing that, there's no way that I could go about just mowing lawns and make money. So, with some of my grandfather, I was able to purchase this area, and with the revenue of this machine alone, I was able to purchase these two machines, making these 3D staples for my lawn care fleet, which you can see here. And important to note that all of this stuff pulls up to around $14,000 in equipment. Now, what's the big deal? The thing is, too far. This wasn't my parents, this was my family, this was us. I did this. Through trusting myself and taking risks, I was able to build up this company from the ground. So, going on from there, with this great equipment that I have, I've been able to, roughly 85% of my incoming clientele has been by word of mouth, which people see me unload this stuff on the street, which makes it really easy, but that being said, it doesn't mean I can't successfully market myself. There's lots of competition in my mentor, Landon Bonner, helping me put together a marketing strategy to get myself out there, use my Facebook page at KB Long, and I seem to be business website. So, that's kind of doing pretty good for myself. But now, I've dominated the residential area, but I want to move on. I want to get bigger, I want to get more money, don't get on. So, I want to move from residential to commercial clientele. And what better way to do that than to go out to your local school district, huh? So, I dropped the clicker, and then I gave a proposal to Wasatch County School District. I gave this to Francis Harrison. And, you know, they accepted it, they liked it as soon as I got to do it. I finished about 2 weeks ago. I aerated all the playing fields and powered up the jobs, which Superintendent Sweat, in case you hadn't noticed, it looks pretty good. So, going into this job with the school district, I knew I was going to have some issues. First of all, I knew I was going to create aeration spots. This machine here on the trailer, I've owned it for 2 years, and in those 2 years I broke one line. In the span of an hour, I broke 7 with only 2 replacements. Yes, I did that for the best. But going through that, I was more prepared for future commercial business. And I'd like to point out, I had to really sell myself with this proposal to get them to choose me. This machine on this trailer, I estimate there are only 3 or 4 other machines like it in the state of Utah. I have one 918. I think I'm pretty far from being where I am. And after phase 2, this third competition, Todd Santiago wants to notice that because he reached out to me and now KB Lawn Care provides the outdoor services for the corner restaurant in Midway. After 2 weeks of doing that, the corner restaurant already has the best looking lawn on Midway Street. I'm a little humble for myself. So, yes, don't believe we can track down everything and see through stuff. Now, moving on to the future, after I graduated, I will be serving a 2-year religious mission, during which time my family has agreed to run my business for me, so to watch the word, maybe, keep watching. So, they've agreed to run my business for me while I'm gone, and I've set up this business in a way where I can still bring in $10,000 to $20,000 a year, even with me not being here, with my company as it is, no one can stand. I call that a pretty good success. Thank you.
Hey, so, by the way, great job. And I do love getting going. Yes. Great job, though. So one thing I noticed, just as this is just a suggestion, looking at your bid for the school district, I think you might have bid too low. You know, based on the fact that you won that bid so quickly, again, great, you gotta get yourself into a market, but you may want to look at the pricing just a little bit more. We're always gonna get a good deal with the school district, but general pricing, maybe you could move up a bit, and we should probably.
Yes, that was one thing that the school district was essentially filing for, the zoning for commercial business being able to properly bid out what my work is and how much I can do. So that was one thing that was very important.
And then, so let me ask you this, how much revenue did you have for 2021?
For 2021, I'd say I brought in about $7,000, but this year that I've gone on, I have rolled that money back into myself in equipment. So all that stuff, it took me 3 years to get it, so my cost of margins were a little lower to get me to my point where I am now, where my cost of margins will be significantly greater.
So the 7K was your profit last year?
Last year?
Yeah.
That was
So 7K was your revenue, right?
yes.
So what was your actual profit after everything? Like how much money did you put in?
How much money I put in, and got back out. So it's like, I'm sorry.
And that's
You
what
go to this one.
yeah, so your revenue is like all the money that you brought in, right? But you minus your cost out of that, and you have some.
Okay.
Gasoline and repairs and
Yeah, the whole slow thing. Total profitability there was about $2,000. That's expensive.
Okay, nice job. I think the question we'll have for all the contestants, what would you do with the money if you were successful today?
We're going to live with 20,000, 15, and just walk away with 1,000. I probably put it towards one or two things. It would be getting close to where to store all my equipment. It's hard to keep track of all sometimes. Or put it towards a more residential friendly area, as my walk plan is very tiny. It's not very efficient. And it doesn't dig as deep, whereas a new one that I'm looking at would have the same accessibility, but deep.
I just want to tell you thank you. The school district loans do look great, and we appreciate your loan good solar taxpayers. And things look awesome. Thanks, man.
We also want to thank you to our amazing judges for being here tonight, and thank you to our sponsors, Wishes and Arms, Bakery Ranch, and Waverly Ford and Timberway. Our next presenter is Lily and Toby Powell with a sweet presentation. Okay, so judges, there are some samples for you guys, and at the end, we're going to be able to ask you what your favorite is. They're all for you, so feel free to open them and try them out. So, we have to bring to the screen, so in front of the flag on the top of the screen is any four flags that are above the number of songs in the street. So that is something to kind of run by, and it's something to really important to us. So we would like to thank the judges for being here and for investors for putting us on. We would also like to thank all our amazing mentors we have and for the work. So you give me.
writing for an interview where we talk about
It's always very proud of the seniors to this day. But here's some pictures that we have of this, and it's always just a mind something, you can make it do. And that's what we so, right, so.
what in the world is that?
The freeze-dried candy is very different. Nobody really knows about it. So here's a little about it. So basically, you put the candy or the candy in a pressure chamber that's a little bit bigger than a miniature, but smaller than a dishwasher. And it's under pressure at -40 degrees, so when it heats up, it pops open, and it takes the moisture out and it gives it its texture and it enhances the flavor.
How long are you doing this?
So we got something out from there today, so he needs to go. And he calls my mom 15 minutes into it, and he says, Mom, I'm done. And she goes, you're not done, I tried 15 minutes ago. And she said, no, Mom, I'm basically done. I said, what's the activity? And he said, we're cleaning the church. And I'm basically done. And she said, oh, you're going to an hour, and we got to do it. So about an hour and 20 minutes, what we says, we all said, all right, after that point, that we're basically done, we just kind of have to push through it.
I'm not really why I did it and one step I want to.
And we have it on our shirts with the cross for market. Here's our timeline. So first we started on Facebook. We started selling just small during the holidays, and then we got our board and everyone loves our great kind of really. So we went to farmer markets, we learned about the community. And then from there, we're on to the WhatsApp, who is an amazing network. Got us a display in the store. And then from there, we just supposed to be self-fulfilled. We found some wholesalers, and they should be 170 locations across the state of Utah. And we're now in contact with the central department to update 400 plus boutiques all across everywhere. And now, the best next week, we're excited to add this to our line. Sure, me with our first good check, I was so excited that our work finally paid off.
This is the second for me. I'm saying, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do.
Okay, here are the lessons to do. We started out.
Yeah, big one.
Okay, I see that this is a hot trend that's going on, but what is the benefit of it exactly? Like, does it last longer, or what's the point?
So we can last for 29 years, but they're packaged and stored correctly. So that once you take care of our product, but it can keep it stored, all our things are airtight, all our packaging are air sealed. So they last longer, food storage, ice cream, eating.
That's insane.
By the way, incredibly impressive. Like, this is super amazing. Have you guys attempted to approach the hiking and camping industry yet, or hunting, fishing? Because, you know, if you backpack, it seems super relevant to me. You want things to be a bit lighter, to last longer, you know. So I think this might be a relevant segment for that, those two industries. You try that yet?
So around the first decade, one of the issues we come across is that our products are very rapid because the organizations and qualities, they're very rapid. And you find like you were in our doors to have a better solution for those. So what we have for our renewable environment and this is the doors that we can work with. So we can bring some of that awesome ideas and see if we can work with to do that.
One more question. So, I love candy. Everyone loves candy. Is there another food segment that you're thinking about moving into? Because look, once you're inside of stores, you've done an amazing job in space inside these stores to sell your product. Is there a second category that you thought about?
So with our licensing, we're offer a licensing state, and so we can't do perishables. And so we're trying to have a licensing, and then bigger facilities that will include if we would go around our house and have a commercial, so we can store all those things that we do that, but currently in our licensing.
Do you think, so with this, with the additional SKUs that you're launching, these are
So I mean, we could do that, but we already branded it as what it is. We call it free vegetables, which I thought was, that's how we're using it.
What are your thoughts on, within the candy sector, like, we work with a couple different brands that use like JoJo's chocolate, or like we just launched a chocolate bar line from Mr. Beast, and they're all better for you candies. So they're sweet, but they're better for you. What are your thoughts on better for you treats?
So one of the issues with those is, that they don't do well in the refrigerator. They actually explode, and then I have to learn the machine apart to fix it. So like,
We don't want it. We don't want it.
I don't know where the machine apart
We don't want the healthy.
So I mean, like some work, but not as well, and they aren't. So it's kind of good. That is definitely something we should look into. But I personally would be part of the machines and that.
So last question. Impressive revenue growth. This was your revenue. Do you know what your profitability was for the quarter last quarter?
Our profitability was. Our profitability is 37% this year and 36% last year.
Awesome. Now I think we all know where we're going to go after this, right? We go get the producer at Kingdom, because I mean, you guys are emotional with this, so it has to be good. All right. Thank you all for coming tonight. It's not close enough. We're going to see this throughout the night. We are super excited to do an presentation before we do. We have to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors are Sunco Furniture, Dented, Joyous, and Design, and our class sponsors here is the French Launch of all of our people for donating and sponsoring us in this time. We are now it's time. Okay, you guys, you can start heading back to your seats. We will begin in about 1 more minute. So if everyone will head back to their seats, this intermission will end. Thank you.
Then I got a free. Across the street from the big Costco. That's right, guys. That's right. Whatever. Look at you guys. Oh, what? What to ask? I'm feeling stupid. Todd, I'm feeling stupid on what to ask. Start texting me ideas. Shut up. Oh, shoot. That's gonna be my favorite. Shut up. Okay, he's gonna be my favorite.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys for helping us with this. We have our next presentation, and this is Alejandro Chavez. Big round of applause.
I'd like to start by giving each of the judges hooking you guys up with a free detail. Here's my business card, and on the backside, just text me the secret code. And
I got a dirty car.
that doesn't matter. Thank you. I'll keep you up, guys. And then, so my business idea is Stacks Auto Detailing. So it's mobile detailing in your driveway, work, or at home. Because clean cars run better. Currently, I'm a junior at Wasatch High. I'm a hard worker. I work 20 hours a week, and on average, I do 2 to 3 details a weekend. The way I acquire customers is knocking doors. So out of every 50 customers I get, out of 50 doors I knock, I get 2 to 3 clients. And in the last 8 months, I've revenued $9,000, and I plan to become the to-go option in the Wasatch and Summit County. Market opportunity, there's not too many mobile detailers here in Wasatch County. There's only 2 mobile detailers and not as many in Park City as well. The car wash and auto detailing industry is $14 billion in 2022 with a 4% annual growth in the last 5 years. Have any of you guys ever gotten your cars detailed? Woo! Yeah, that's it. So you guys know that the cars end up real nice, brand new, except I do it better. And then I do all the leather, crevices, carpets, stains, wash, wax, everything. Here's just some before and afters. It's not worth it. Average price for a detail is $200, and it on average takes me 2.5 hours to do. Labor is $75, materials is $20, equipment is $20, and profit is $85. But if I don't take the work with me, I get the $75 and the $85 as a profit to me. Year 1, I'd like to scale up to 5 details a week, and profit $26,000. And then little bit by little bit every year, grow and get commercial accounts, dealerships, fleet, and by year 5, profit $200,000. And then what I plan to do when I win the contest money is get a down payment for work vehicles, since I'm currently just driving my dad's truck to get to customers. A water tank setup, which is $700, and generator setup for $1,200, and an air compressor setup for $700 as well. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
Hey, I've got a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I've seen like real estate values up in this area. I live down in Utah County, so
Okay.
not quite as high. But what's the nicest car you've cleaned?
Porsche.
Like what Porsche?
It was a Cayenne.
Dang, that's cool. So let me ask you this. Here's a question. Because I think we all have had our cars detailed. You say you do it the best. Like, why? Is it product? Is it well, you tell me. Why is it different? Why is it better? Because that's $200 is a lot. I mean, that's expensive.
All right. I guess. But most people are like, hey, it came out better than my last detailer. They forgot this spot. And I always ask them, where would you like me to pay more attention? You know, maybe there's a spot that they specifically like to get. So I think I usually satisfy the customer more than just any other detailer.
How do you get reoccurring clients?
Great question. Actually, I usually just text them or get the phone number and tell them every 3 months, you know, I can shoot you a text and rebook an appointment, you know. So
Do you do
what
subscription plans? Like you get a 5% off for?
In the future, I'd like to do like after every 10 details you do, you get one free, you know, so that they stay with you.
And I would, that's probably the best idea, and you're already thinking about this, but I wouldn't call them every 3 months. You need to find the clients, or you should, they have you clean every week or every 2 weeks. Maybe your detail's so deep, maybe they don't need it quite as deep, and you might have different options. The $75 plan, the $150, the $200, that, you know, the social media, you know, guru over here would probably be able to afford. The rest of us probably not.
And she
but
lives here.
yeah.
And she's interested.
Well, there's nobody up here, so that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know of any other mobile guy doing
Yeah,
it.
there's 2 of them, but they only have like a shop, you know, so you have to go to them.
I know, so I love that
think
you're
it'd be better-
coming.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I could do it at work, you know.
But I do agree with what he's saying. I think it's good, like, if you get them hooked, that you get them to come back, like, with less, like, they don't need it as detailed the next time,
Yeah.
and you could be
So
like,
I probably would do something like
Yeah.
that. It'd be called like a maintenance detail.
yeah,
So I just do
Yeah.
it for $50, you know, and
yes,
I'd wash it
yes,
and quick wipe down, you know, the interior
I like
to
that.
just maintain it every two
Yeah.
weeks. Like I said.
Weekly.
But,
Yes.
I'm curious about how many employees you have, and as you scale up, how do you feel? We know how tough the labor market is. How do your prospects look as far as scaling up?
Great question. So I probably have to pay them like $20+, you know, an hour, so for them to stay with me. And
Where do you find them? Like finding labor it's hard right now.
currently, I've just been taking a couple friends. They usually just go with me, but.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Or are we all good? All day?
What products do you use? Because you're not using. Are you using like Ivory soap or what's
No,
the?
it's like special chemicals.
I don't know.
Special chemical store and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
There's like shops in Orem and Salt Lake. Bud Co. is one in Salt Lake. And I usually use chemical guys as well. And Amazon sometimes has actually better prices at the store. So that's why I just restock on chemicals.
So I will say, great job. I think we're all kind of like amazing here what you've done. And then secondly, I love the fact that you gave a detailed plan on how you would use, or you said will use, and I like that word, the money and how it's budgeted out. So that was super impressive. Thank you.
Yeah, well, good job.
Big round of applause for Alejandro. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you, attorney judges. If I need my car detailing, Alejandro, thank you. Thank you, judges and audience, and of course, our sponsors. We have Focus Tech, Marty Gagan Design, Motive Health, and our title sponsor, Blue Sage Ranch. Next up, we have Right 25, a group of students from different fields. Please welcome Right 25.
Good evening, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful time listening to us hit the pitches. So we are the Right 25 group. My name is Derek, this is Eric, and this is Duncan. Now we just have an imaginary scenario in your head. So now imagine you have a 13-year-old child who recently broke his femur. This means that he was placed on a weight-bearing strategy, which means he's limited to a certain percentage of weight. This percentage can go anywhere from 25% to 75%. The only problem is he has no idea how much this percentage really is, but he's really intelligent, so he chooses to ask you, his parents, who have a lot more knowledge. And you tell him to grab a bathroom scale and a calculator so that he can find out what this percentage feels like. So he follows this for the next following 7 weeks, but the problem is if he hadn't done this, then he would have likely been re-injured, which would have led to another surgery, which would have caused another 6 to 8 weeks recovery period. And this isn't that uncommon of a story because every year, 500,000 Americans have a similar story in old age groups. And as you've seen, it's really essential to hit that prescribed percentage. Because if you don't, you get a surgery again, it is often $25,000 to $45,000, which third-party payers are often left to pay with, which are often insurance. And that adds up to $4.5 billion annually inside the United States. And so recent research has also demonstrated that diabetics who have neuropathy can also benefit from proper following of the weight-bearing strategy, and diabetics who have euclers as well. So that's another 24 million people inside the United States that can benefit from this device.
All right, and that problem is exactly why we created the Right 25. So a little bit into how it works exactly. If you'll look at each of these lines on the slide, that is a strip of copper tape, and that acts as a point of sensitivity for the patient. This means that no matter where the weight is on their foot, whether that be the toe or the heel or the sides, the sensor will always be able to function. And the Right 25 functions as a bathroom scale, if you haven't already guessed. So it will take in the patient's raw pressure and it will output it in pounds. It will tell them its weight. And this weight will be displayed on our display module right here. And that is one of 2 feedback mechanisms we have, the other one being a speaker that will buzz when the patient reaches their prescribed weight limit, whether that be 25% of their weight, 50%, 75%, and so on. And just a little bit more into the business side of things. So the raw materials for this product will cost $79. Now we need to keep in mind that when we take this to a manufacturer, that price will considerably go down because we're buying in bulk. And with our expected selling point of around $300, that will give us a profit margin of around 300%, give or take some because of manufacturing costs, obviously, and for research on each unit. Now, you guys are probably thinking that $300 is relatively not cheap. Well, funny thing is, it is, because our competition for physical therapists is a unit that's the size of everything in front of me, and it costs an affordable price of $7,000. So comparatively, $300 is a fraction of the price for what these patients have to pay.
Yeah, so moving forward with the product, we are going to get a patent and finalize our LLC so that we own the intellectual rights to it. And what makes our product so strong is just how many people can benefit from it. As Derek mentioned, 500,000 lower extremity injuries in the US annually. That's so many people that we can help. Not only health-wise by helping them to a timely and a proper recovery, but also we can save not only the people, but also insurance companies tons of money because no one has to pay for a second and even third follow-up surgery because our device helps the recovery process to go right the first time, no pun intended. The opportunities that we're very excited about moving forward are all the research we're continuing with, both short-term and long-term research. We are getting a prototype into a local physical therapy practice. Tyler Bluth, his practice locally here in Heber, to work out some of the kinks with it, whether it doesn't hold battery very well, whether it has a hard time recharging, and whether it's annoying for the patient, and with that, where is it most comfortable for the patient to wear. And not only that, but also continuing to research. Derek here, as well as 2 of our other teammates, Nick and Naomi, are going to be attending the University of Utah this fall to embark in a full-blown research project over the next couple of years with an orthopedic trauma surgeon there to prove its efficacy in the real world. And so that is our plan, to make the Right 25 a success in the real world.
Now we're going to have Superintendent Sweat, who's already thankfully given us his weight. So we have inputted his weight into our computer module and set to a prescribed weight percentage of 25%. And now we're going to have him step on it, and as you can see, it will beep in a second. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that sound is him hitting that 25% exactly. So what you basically want to do when you're recovering is hit that sound so that you can hear it. Then as soon as you hear that, you step off of it. That's all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
Hey, so the idea for this, did it come from a personal experience?
Yeah, so actually that came from our mentor, Steve Stevens. He has a personal experience with this. He had a lower extremity injury and found that this process was not efficient at all. So that's why we made this. That's where the idea came from.
And what's the market cap? Like, how big is this market?
Oh, huge. We mentioned the 500,000 injuries yearly. If we were we to win the money, that's exactly what we would put it into. Expanding into manufacturing and expanding this, taking this globally. There's not only that many injuries in America, but also there's a much bigger globe that also have lower extremity injuries.
Yeah, so I also finished off with this, with my part, saying that recent research has demonstrated that it also benefit diabetics as well who suffer from neuropathy, and that's another 24 million people inside the U.S. as well. So globally, that scales up to a much larger market as well.
And when do you wear the device or use it? Is it all the time? Do you just wear it like a sock?
Yeah, so actually through further developing and prototyping, we're hoping that this can go inside the patient's shoe so that they can kind of get a feel of what that partial weight bearing is at all times throughout the day so that they can heal the most efficiently they can.
Cool.
From a cost perspective, and obviously you're right, the higher the volume, lower the pricing comes down, but just thinking, and again, $300 may be, not too expensive, but I think a lot of these injuries that I know of, knee surgery, foot surgery, ankle, whatever, hip, you typically 4, 6, 8 weeks, I think, you can be full load bearing. Is there a way, I'm just looking at the product, I haven't seen it in person yet though. Where does most of the cost come from of the $75? Is it the strip in this little module here? Probably the most cost is here. Is there a way that you could, just thinking from reusability, because if I bought one and my foot is better, let's say, I'll never probably use this again, but if I could either turn it back in for a credit and this could be disconnected from the foot pad, this may be something that's maybe it costs you $13, you could sell for $70 or I don't know what, instead of the full $300, and then reuse this module here. Have you guys thought about that at all?
Yeah, so for the first question, it's mostly just electronics. So there's a computer in there that's running all the math. That's $20 in itself. So that's where most of the cost comes from. And we need to think about how versatile this can be. So as you said, we can easily unplug that thin sensor from its module. And all that needs to be done is to be cut to the size of the patient's shoe, like 10, 10 and a half, and so on. And so, yeah, we can just sell that for a cheap price and then have the module be rented out from the physical therapist or whatever would work.
Okay.
And what about FDA clearance? Like, are you going just over the counter? Like, somebody's going to buy this or lease it on a lease model, or are you doing FDA and having it prescribed?
Yeah, so that's actually one of our very long-term goals is to get this approved by the FDA so that this can be covered by insurance. Because as we said, this could be huge. This could save billions of dollars from insurance companies. So obviously, especially if this works in the real world, they're gonna want to buy this and get it covered.
And that's the biggest point that he mentioned. If we want insurance companies to buy it, they're not going to unless we prove that this works, that this is helping all these patients with lower extremity injuries.
Cool.
Thank you. Nice.
All right, give a big round of applause again to Right 25, a group of students. That's awesome. All right, this is actually not accurate anymore because,
Hi, you guys. My name is Ashlyn Frost. I was the 2020 Investness winner for my business, I Am Stories. when I was in second grade, I wrote this poem for a class, and my mom had saved it all these years. We'd always talked about turning it into some type of like poem book or a children's book. So InvestNest really gave me the courage to take that idea and turn it into something. All I knew was I wanted to focus in on children's books and mental health with kids. It was probably one of the most impactful experiences I've had. Definitely taught me the power of an idea. I do want a little bit of everything in my life. I want to be able to write books, but I also want to be able to manage my own business. And then along with that, I am a nanny, which has been the perfect experience to just grow my love for kids and to read her books. Next level would be illustrations and publishing. We'd hope to publish some to Amazon's KDP selling and then have our very own website where we can have direct sales as well. To all the investors, all the people who are donating, it's amazing. Thank you so much for believing in young people. Just keep following and keep pursuing because your dreams are definitely worth it.
Hi guys, I'm Catherine Smoot. I am the owner of K. And for our okay, perfect. That one's working. Okay. Now our next two people are Grace and Elizabeth Wonder. Let's give them a big round of applause, guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay, thanks, McKay. Yes. Okay, I am Grace Wonder. And I'm Elizabeth Anthony. And we are Zorb, Utah. Yeah, so as you can see, this is one of our Zorb balls, and we will get to that in a little bit. But, okay. I first just want to start out by painting a picture in your minds. You're a tourist coming to the Heber Valley, and you're coming here to visit the most iconic sites. You have Deer Creek, you have Granny's Drive-Thru, you have the famous Heber Creeper, and all of these amenities are so fun and amazing, but everyone does them. Heber Valley is missing something. It's missing an experience. And we have the perfect solution for you, Zorbing. So, Grace, will you tell us a little bit about what Zorbing is? You know, I would love to just tell you guys, but I would rather just show you. So let's watch. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Zorbing, you saw the ball that we rolled out before. So it's when you get in a big inflatable ball and roll down a hill, and we put water in the Zorb so you don't go tumbling, you're not getting hurt. And you can see in the video, you can put up to 3 people in the ball. So you can have your family, your friends, everyone can Zorb. So this year, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, we plan to be operating. Let me just say that one more time. This year, from Memorial Day to Labor Day, we plan to be operating. And doing that, we're projecting between $75,000 and $90,000 of revenue, with $15,000 to $20,000 startup costs. So we're making over 100% of our money back just through Memorial Day and Labor Day. And we'll show you how. All right, so this slide behind me kind of does a breakdown of all of our expenses. A really important point to mention is we will be open Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays to the public, and then we will be having private events all over weekdays. Again, private events is the majority of our money maker. We're talking graduation parties, weddings, any parties or private events. This is where we will be making our money. All right, so why Zorb? Why put this amazing thing in the Heber Valley? This is such a great question. So how this happened is I was in New Zealand where Zorbing originated, and I'm driving along with my family, and I look over and I see this inflatable ball rolling down the hill. Automatically, my adventurous self is like, I need to do that. So obviously my family, we do Zorbing, and this is an experience that I will never forget. So I come home and I'm like, we need this in Heber. This is what Heber is missing. I tell my best friend Grace over here what it is. She falls in love with it, and she hasn't even done it. So Grace, tell me about your experiences. Yes, so like Elizabeth said, I've never Zorbed before, except maybe the exception of last Thursday when we first got our balls, which were very exciting. But for you guys who don't have the experience of being in New Zealand and seeing this, as you're driving past. We're reaching out to you through social media, through newspaper and radio ads. We have a KSL story we're working on. But let me re-emphasize through social media, specifically Instagram. Nowadays, everybody wants something that's very photogenic, something that you can post on Instagram. So not only are we bringing you guys something like a one-of-a-kind experience, we're bringing you something that you're going to post on Instagram. All your friends and family are going to see. They're going to be so jealous. They're going to, oh, I want to go Zorbing. And then they're going to come, and then they're going to post, and it's just a chain reaction. Yes, so like Chris said, marketing is crucial. Behind me is how we plan to spend the $20,000. Of course, this is a question. What will we do if we win the $20,000? A large chunk of it will go towards buying the balls, paying the employees, actually building the track, and stopping the balls, 20% towards marketing. Now, earlier in the slideshow, you saw that we're planning to make about $75,000 to $90,000 a year. That is with our 2 Zor balls that we currently have. One of them you just barely saw. So if we get this $20,000, we'll be able to use that money towards purchasing more balls, which will allow us to get people up and down the hill much faster, creating more people and more revenue coming. So, yeah, one last thing I want to hit on, Abby, sorry. We have a contract that's drafted for Soldier Hollow for this summer. So we're working on getting a location at Soldier Hollow. It's in the process. That little circle right there, that's our hill. So that's exciting. But we'll do questions. Let me just say something. And like one more thing to mention with Soldier Hollow, just like any business, location is so crucial. And the fact that we have a lease with Soldier Hollow, this will be our moneymaker. Advertising, not only is Soldier Hollow known from our country, but it's a landmark worldwide because of the 2002 Olympics. So we're super excited to bring Zorbing into Heber Valley, and we want you guys to be a part of this. So.
I have a really random question. How do you clean the Zorb out when someone throws up?
Yes, great question.
I'm looking at it going, I don't know if I can handle it, but cool. I mean, it seems really cool, but how do you clean it out? Like, you never know.
A really good question. So we clear the water out after every person. So you put 10 gallons of water in the ball, and you slide down. That makes it the water slide type of fill. You empty the ball. The water also has like chlorine chemicals, so it's not just random water someone's in. And then that helps keep the water clean. And we don't reuse the same water per person.
And then how do you get it up the hill? Do you just, like at Soldier's Hollow, how do you roll it back up the hill? Seems like that'd be a tremendous.
Yes, so we have trailers and vehicles to transport the balls up the hill. So we'll have vans that transport the people, and then a trailer that transports the balls. So.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. All good?
Yeah, all good.
Hey!
Amazing job. Great. Guys, that looks super duper fun. Follow Zorb Utah for updates, and I sure know you guys would all enjoy it. Thank you to some more of our sponsors, Costa Vida, Nice CX, Summit Line Construction, and our title sponsor, Blue Sage Ranch. Our next presenter for the night is Jeffrey Paya.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here and supporting us. My name is Jeffrey Payne, and my business is Loneliness Not Mirth, LLC. In the past 15 years, suicide rates in teenagers has about doubled, and is set to double again in the next 15 years. Every day, over 400 teenagers commit suicide. More than 5,000 attempt to, and over 70,000 think to commit suicide every day. These are all sad truths of today's world. But the good news is, suicide is preventable and mental illness is treatable. So, shoot. Okay, sick, sorry. Let's go back to the beginning of Loneliest Man on Earth. In late November, we started, I had just finished screen printing my first batch of t-shirts and hoodies, and then we published our live website. In the next couple of weeks, we got invited to the Utah Teen Entrepreneur event where we met hundreds of people that genuinely wanted to talk to us about their mental illness experiences and how suicide had affected their lives. That day alone, we made over $1,500 in sales, and we realized how much support and need there was for a business just like ours. If only more people knew about us. So that's exactly what we worked on January through March, getting more people to know about us. So we did an Instagram, Facebook, and website campaign where we raised over 65,000 total interactions with our business, and everything was going so well that in late March, we created our newsletter, and we got a ton of subscribers right off the bat. So far, as to this year, we've made close to $7,000 in revenue. Our inventory is decent sized, and our social media is steadily increasing. We've shipped to 4 different countries so far, and what we're most proud of is that we've already donated over $1,000 this year alone. In the next couple of days, we'll be releasing the the Positive Earth Drop, which a lot of people are asking us for new designs and new colors, so we're super excited to bring those out to you guys. As well as that, in the last day of this month, we've already recorded our first podcast episode with psychologists and a ton of Wasatch teen students talking about our personal experiences with mental illness and how we kind of cope with everything, so we're excited to put that out. In May, we have really big goals this whole year. So in May, we're going to be doing the Utah Teen Entrepreneur event again, as well as working with Portia's Cookies. And then in June, we're going to be working with Food and Care Coalition in Provo to bring mental illness help to the homeless. In July, we're going to be doing a marathon for mental illness where all proceeds will go towards mental health charities, supporting and fighting against teenage suicide. In August, we're going to have Rita Sanguini, a 3-time Olympian, come and talk to us about how mental illness personally affected her career. And lastly, in September, we're going to be working on the Tell a Story drop, which we're super excited to get on. By the end of the year, we hope to make over $21,000 in sales and have a steadily increase of followers across all our platforms. But what we're mostly excited to reach is over $4,500 in donations by the end of this year. Shoot, we're going to go back. Okay, by the end of this year, by the end of 5 years, we hope to have big goals for Loneliest Man on Earth. We hope to hit the 6-digit mark as to sales and have a steadily increasing but really large amount of following on our podcast, newsletter, and social medias. And we hope to donate over $30,000 that year alone towards mental health charities supporting and fighting teenage suicide. The $20,000 will help change and save so many lives. 20% of the money that we are awarded with today will be given towards a mental health charity fighting against teen suicide, and the rest will be put straight into our business so we can exponentially grow and exponentially help more people. We want to help as many people as possible. We want to make so all the numbers can go down, so all the people that we care about don't have to feel like they don't belong here, because everybody belongs on Earth alive. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here.
So personal question on this. Why do you want to dedicate your life to this? When you start a business for the next 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it is, like you're going to dedicate your life to this. What's your personal connection to this?
I personally struggled with mental illness, and my best friend attempted suicide 3 times before I ever knew about it, and I didn't hear about it until he heard about my business. So I just want to have more people talk about it because we don't know who around us is really struggling. So yeah.
Awesome. Always start with the why. Always start with the emotional hook, right? The personal experience, and then bring the business model in.
Yeah.
Great job, by the way. And by the way, it's super amazing that in today's day and age, we can actually talk about this and address it. My spouse, she's not here, so I'm speaking for her, but after our second child, went through severe depression for 5 years. So this is something almost everyone either will personally deal with themselves or someone in their family. So congratulations to attacking and helping something that's going to really change people's lives. So that's congratulations.
Thank you so much. Sorry, my bad. I'll go back, sorry.
So are there some current podcasts that we can listen to?
Yeah, so we're going to set it up in the next couple of days, and then the podcast is going to be released on the last day of April.
Great.
Yeah.
Of all the podcasts that are out there, though, on this, why yours? What makes yours different?
So really, like, no teenagers and young adults are really talking about the issue. You know, if we speak up, then more young adults and teenagers will speak up as well. So, and parents and adults and grandparents want to hear, like, the perspectives of young adults, like, in their kids and grandchildren.
And so just to be clear, the business model, as you make those proceeds, then you're making donations.
Yeah.
Exactly to where? Give us a little
So
recap
we
of
donate to different mental health charities. The most recent one is the Hello JJ Foundation, which was started because their son, which was 12, committed suicide, and they fight teenage suicide.
Excellent. Thank you.
And where's your revenue? I know there's merch, but like, what's the business model?
We mostly get our revenue from merch, but as podcasts and our newsletter increase, we'll get more revenue from that as well.
So is it a paid service? It's a paid podcast?
No, it's just, you know, like the more viewership, the more. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Jeffrey, for shedding light on mental health. It's a really important issue that we need to talk about more. Thank you for your presentation, and thank you, judges, as well. We're going to thank our sponsors, Probst Electric, Trust, and Davis Allen, the David and Angela Glenn Charitable Giving Fund, Jamie Dunn, and Todd Santiago for donating to Invest Nest. The next group is actually from Skyline. They are the only out of Wasatch students who made it this far into the competition. Let's give a big hand to Pure Solutions.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vivek Anand.
And my name's Adrian Suchaya.
And today we're here to talk to you about the world's most valuable resource, water. Water contamination is an issue that's prevalent all across the United States. Currently, research shows us that 1/5 of Americans have come into contact with contaminated water in the past 10 years. This is an issue because water contamination typically contains heavy metals such as lead, cadmium, and chlorine. These heavy metals, with exposure over a long time, can cause severe health effects such as kidney failure, cancers, intragastrial issues, and other such illnesses such as these. With the increasing population and aging water infrastructure, this issue is being exacerbated.
So we did some preliminary market research on what options there are for consumers to test their water. And what we found is there's two main options. There's either cheap options or expensive options. So the problem with cheap options is that they are unreliable, being cheaply manufactured with low tolerances. They don't provide much information about the actual quantities that they measure. And overall, they are unsustainable for the environment. On the other hand, the expensive kits costing $300 or more are prohibitively expensive for most end users and are prohibitively difficult to use as users have to send a water sample to their water to a laboratory to get tested. And that is why we built Pure Solutions, the future of water purity testing. So we've actually gone through 3 prototypes, and this is our current prototype. And as you can see, it's on a PCB. We've got this fully manufactured and designed in-house. This is all our custom work. I would like to give a quick demonstration of exactly how this works. So I have a functioning tester right here, and I have a solution of distilled water. So I'm going to demonstrate the electroconductivity, and this would detect any dissolved metals that would be present in the water. So I would like to turn your attention to the screen. In the top left graph would represent the electroconductivity, and as I put it in, it shows an extremely low value of 8.32. Now I'm going to add a potential contaminant that may be found in your water. This is copper sulfate. And as you can see, the electroconductivity spikes to 3,000, demonstrating that it's unsafe and being detected by our device. So this is also our companion application that goes with our device. So it displays all the metrics that we're measuring. We're measuring pH, electroconductivity, temperature, and turbidity. And on the application, we have little snippets so people can actually understand what they're showing. It has a notification and water quality log that is present on the application. And this can all be interfaced either on a desktop or through a mobile application. So overall, Septima does it better. On the table behind me, it shows all the features that we have. So comparing our device to many of the other solutions that are currently on the market, we measured the four major quality metrics: temperature, turbidity, pH, and electroconductivity being the main ones. We also have other features as well, such as the companion application, the Bluetooth connectivity, so it can be operated with a mobile application such as the one that we have designed. It has a waterproof case, it's portable and handheld. The probes are removable, and overall, our device is much more versatile than the current market options.
So now let's move on to the market segments. So we'll be primarily hitting three market demographics with our product. So first will be landlords. Federal law mandates that every home and rental unit in the United States has to provide clean, potable water, and water quality has to meet the regulations set by the EPA. By implementing our device, landlords will be able to test their water from all of their homes and log that data via the SD card that's on the device. And our second market is low-income communities. Numerous studies have shown that low-income communities are the most impacted by water contamination. Our device will allow them to test multiple homes and water sources and allow them to uncover widespread water contamination issues. And third, we have middle-class homeowners. Middle-class homeowners will be able to implement our device straight onto their water systems and get instant and consistent information about their water quality straight via the companion application. And so, if any contamination occurs, it'll send a push notification to their phone or mobile device and alert them of any spikes in values. Now, let's move on to financials. So currently the cost breakdown to produce 1 unit of our device is $16.12. However, with supply chain optimization and economies of scale, we're positive that we can bring this cost down to just around $10. And now, I'd like to project the projected income sheet for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. And basically, prior to launch, we'll be investing around $11,000 into our device, into our company. So this will primarily be for advertising, as well as startup costs such as insurance, licenses, professional fees, and etc. And over time, what you'll notice is that sales increase rapidly while operating costs stay around the same. And by the 1 year point, we'll have made $130,000 in pure profit. So judges and audience, by giving us your vote, not only will you be giving us the capital to start our company, but you'll also be helping us solve a widespread issue that affects millions of people every single day. Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, first of all, we both feel like you're 30 years old. I mean, we're like reminding ourselves that you're in high school. My gosh, that's really a compliment. You guys are geniuses. So is this for like the consumer at home?
Yeah, so anyone
Right?
can,
It is, right?
Yeah, so anyone can buy this device and test their water like very easily. So for instance, we can take the water on your table right now and test that right now and get the water quality.
Because this is a super hot thing right now. Like a lot of people are now into buying, I can't think of the exact name now that, you know, that filters all their water and stuff. It's a super popular thing. People are more aware of this. So I wanted to know. That's very cool. I love it.
So are you going to market commercial or residential? Like, are you marketing the end consumer? Like, they would go to Best Buy and buy this? Or are you marketing this to, like, the commercial developer and they install it under the sink?
So so there's 3 ways, right? So we can install it into water systems. People can also buy the singular device and test their own water. And we're also partnering up with humanitarian organizations such as the Red Cross so that we can sell them the device for like a reduced price of around $20 so they can go out and help all of these, find widespread issues and help people who are affected by this.
Yeah, is the result, is it binary? Is it a drink, no drink? Or is it like, hey, here's what's in your water and here's the filter you need to use to have pure water?
So that's one of our future implementations. So it gives you on a scale of, so you cannot see on screen, but it gives you on a scale to poor to excellent. So that's the scale we use. And so what it allows us to do is in the future, we'll have little like information tabs that allow users to click and see what filter or what their water system needs to solve the issue that's currently present.
So it's kind of like an air monitor in India or China where you can monitor exactly what your air is.
Exactly, but this is for water, which is more prevalent in the US.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you intend, because, you know, if you show the problem, but you pass off the solution to someone else, like a filter company that has, you know, residual-based income, which we all want, you know, they sell those filters every 3-6 months, whatever it is. Do you intend to build a solutions-based product to consumers?
So yeah, what we have designs for, but we've built basically CAD models of how it would look implemented into water systems or implemented into filters, so people can constantly monitor their water through their filter. Through their filter, and it'll monitor.
But you'd build your own filters at some point, or you would suggest someone else's filter?
We still haven't decided yet, since the problem right now isn't water filters, because those are really popular. But like the problem is that no one knows when their water is contaminated. That's the issue that we're trying to solve.
We have time for one more question.
Yeah, where would you go to school if you could go anywhere to college?
If I could go to school, I'd choose MIT, but financials, the U of U is a good option for undergraduate degrees, so let's go there.
I'd probably end up going to UPenn, because I'm more like business sided, so I'd probably end up going to UPenn. But as my partner said, the U is a pretty great option, so I'll probably end up going there.
Cool. So MIT and Wharton, here you
Yeah.
go. Do it.
Thank you guys, thank you. Thank you for Pure Solutions for that cool presentation. Thank you judges for taking time and being here. And thank you for our audience as well. And of course our sponsors, Xylem Global, Redstone, and the Ritchie Group. Without you, we couldn't be doing this. Now we have our next presentation. Next up is Isaac Hardy with a tasty presentation.
Hi everyone, my name is Isaac Hardy and I started a bakery last year called My Brother's Pastry with some help from my 2 younger brothers, and I would like to tell you about it. So, I am 15 years old and I am very passionate about good food, pastries, and bread.
Amen.
Thank you, Lacey. And really, that all started during COVID. I was bored out of my mind. So I borrowed a couple of cookbooks from a friend and I started to teach myself how to bake. And I baked a lot. I made traditional European style sourdough breads, artisan pastries, and more. I tested my recipes every day, tweaking them until I got them just right. What started as a hobby evolved into a growing business and maybe even a career for me. So the key to my bakery, my business, is product quality. We use only the highest quality ingredients, such as locally sourced flour, chocolate, salt, and milk, along with imported butter and cheese. I also do not take shortcuts. I am willing to and do spend hours in the kitchen, taking care to make whatever I'm creating as perfect as possible. The result? Is what we think is the best product in the Heber Valley. But don't just take my word for it. The best way for you to judge the potential of my business is to try our products for yourselves. So here you all go. So what we have in these boxes are a couple of our best-selling pastries. We have our traditional butter croissant. We have our almond croissant.
Just a queen of on.
It is actually a morning fun. It's croissant dough rolled with cinnamon, sugar, orange zest, and lemon zest. That is one of our best sellers. And we have a chocolate eclair in there, and then we have a segment of one of our sourdough baguettes. Enjoy.
Look, I have a problem already.
Yeah, Todd?
My box wasn't big enough. Really?
I'll see if I can fix
Okay.
that. So the food and restaurant industry in the Heber Valley is still maturing with relatively few high-quality options. So I wasn't initially sure what the response to traditional European pastries would be. But after a lot of success from selling in my neighborhood, I decided to open a booth at the Midway Farmers Market. I invested about $5,000 of my savings into equipment and ingredients, hoping and praying it would work. And guess what? Whatever will do. Can we? Don't. It worked. We were only able to participate in about 60% of the markets over the summer, yet still made almost $20,000 in revenue, with over 70% gross profit margins, and made almost $7,000 in net profit. That was, of course, after paying myself and my brothers for our time. I learned tons last year, but there are 3 things that stand out to me the most. One, I learned that there is plenty of demand for our product. We developed a loyal following, both from within the Heber Valley, as well as people who started driving up weekly from outside the valley, just to buy our product. We also had several local businesses, such as Ritual Chocolate, asking us if we could wholesale our pastries to them. 2, I learned that people will pay a premium price for our premium products. I was worried that with our higher input costs, we wouldn't be able to charge enough to make a decent profit. But actually, I learned we could raise our prices given demand. And 3, I learned I could not make enough. I was baking everything out of our home kitchen, yet even with 3 ovens and spending all of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we easily sold out everything we could make. Sorry. So here is our 5-year plan. And really, our long-term goal is to become the Heber Valley's source for artisan pastries and bread. Within 5 years, our goal is to generate over $100,000 per year in revenue and to have opened a brick and mortar store within the Heber Valley. So, how do I do this? Well, really, we need 3 things. 1, we need a commercial kitchen space in order to effectively scale our operations and, frankly, to save my parents' sanity. 2, I need to hire some additional employees and train them so that we do not lose anything on product quality, which is the key to my business. And 3, I need to purchase a few more additional pieces of equipment in order to effectively scale our operations. In total, these will cost us about $19,000, but I'm confident we will be able to pay it off due to our increased production and sales. So our end goal, really, as I already said, is to be able to generate over $100,000 per year in revenue, have a bakery, and be able to wholesale and sell our pastries and breads to as many people in the Heber Valley as possible. Thank you so much for your time.
Here we go, hold on.
What do you guys think?
Okay, this is seriously impressive. Like, you guys, this is freaking delicious. I'm not even kidding.
Thank you, Lizzie.
I'm not kidding. It doesn't have my flour, so it's not as good, but it's good. It's good. It's good. Okay. Okay, I'm super impressed, but I understand all of this. I mean, a sourdough, you've got these fancy croissants. This is so much time. It's insane. And so you want the commercial kitchen, but what's your plan? I mean, you can't be the one to do it all.
So I actually already have a commercial kitchen lined up, which we're going to use this summer thanks to June Pies. So that's already
It's amazing. And what was yours? You had a really, really good question.
My question, she said she wants to hire you. So would you rather have an internship with a celebrity this summer or do this? No, there's an offer. There's an offer on the table right now for an internship.
Shark Tank right here.
Thank you, Lizzie.
I need you. I want you.
Tempting as that is, I love what I'm doing. I love being able to provide my friends, my family, all of my neighbors with the pastries and the breads that I love and love to make.
Is that your final answer?
That's it. You're dead to me. You're dead. Dead. Well, I don't know what the offer is, okay? I just am thinking we could have a
It
partnership.
was $300 an hour.
Done.
I don't know what to say.
So by the way, absolutely amazing. And you know, with food, obviously quality is everything, especially in an area like this. You're close to Park City, Deer Valley, that whole.
Pay it.
Are you mentioned that you are wholesaling or you might wholesale at some point?
So
have you had conversations with any of the hotels or restaurants up in Park City?
We're planning to start opening wholesale accounts this year. I already have Ritual Chocolate Cafe lined up. They are prepared to buy. And I am in the process of opening more within the Heber Valley. We've not really moved on to Park City and the resorts there yet, but that is in the future.
I would just suggest, I mean, again, if you have a full-time kitchen open and you can train people to do it, you know, the way you do it with the care you have.
For sure.
100,000 in revenue, it's nice, but I think probably it could be quite a bit more than that, my personal opinion. So,
okay.
It's very good. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's a really good idea. Thank you.
I would just say you've got a lot going for you. You've got a fantastic product, and I really like, as I'm looking through the book here, the detail in your business plan. I think you've got a bright future. You need to somehow tap into this, but stick to your plan.
Okay.
Do both.
Thank you so much,
I
Superintendent.
You might ought to hire her. Like,
Lizzie, I have a job offer for you whenever you're ready.
I mean, let's go.
Let's do this.
Thank you so much.
Guys, let's just say that me and Abby are lucky because we got an extra box in the back and we are dying back there. So you should be jealous. All right, that was really an awesome presentation by Isaac. Let's give him another round of applause. All right, a big thank you to our sponsors, Zion Bank, Executive Tech, and State Farm Just Eagle Right. And our title sponsor, of course, Blue Sage Ranch. But last but certainly not least, the raddest kid in the school, James Kreger. Yeah, let's give him a big round of
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most rad presentation of your lives. I'm James Kreger, and I started Just Be Rad. Have you ever thought about effectively doing two things at once? Well, with Just Be Rad, you can. You can buy an awesome sticker that you totally love and give money to those in need. Just Be Rad was started amidst the COVID-19 pandemic by my family and I. We started with the question in mind, what can we do to help our family as well as those around us? We found that the way we would do it is selling stickers, a product we love. Just Be Rad is a positive messaging company. We would like to spread joy throughout the world, and we have found that stickers are the way to do it. We also have an altruistic arm. We have donated hundreds of dollars to local causes, and we have donated thousands of hours worth of services to people in our community. This is a map of Just Be Rad sales. Just Be Rad has sold across the country, and the bigger the dot is the bigger the sale. Just Be Rad is currently on Instagram at just_be_rad_, and we have our very own website, justberad.org. As a business, we have many strengths. We are not just an idea. Just Be Rad is an operating business. In fact, we've been operating since 2020. We also have no overhead as a business, and our margins are lovingly high. One of our weaknesses is that we don't plan to produce our own stickers. This means if wanted, other people or businesses could print their own stickers for cheaper than our purchasing cost. One of our opportunities is the expansion of our B2C market. We have currently focused a lot on our B2B, and we have found that the opportunity for B2C has a much more, is much more scalable. One of the biggest threats to our business is competition. We have found that in many of our stores, there are other people who make and produce their own stickers. Expansion. I have focused lots on our B2B. Currently, we are in 5 locations across our valley, and in the next year, I would like to be in 50. On top of our B2B, we would also like to expand our B2C. We have been working and connecting with BYU basketball player Trey Stewart and TikTok sensation Sarah Evans. On top of that, we would like to start our own line of hats, hoodies, and shirts. Just Be Rad produces a sticker for 50 cents, and to our average consumer, we charge $5, giving us a 90% return. For B2B, the production cost is the same, and we sell them for $2.50, yielding an 80% margin. Our total expenses are a little over $1,800. We have grossed, total revenue was $5,000, a little over $5,000, and our total profit was $3,000, a little over $3,000, yielding us a 69.13% return on investment. We currently have $12,000 worth of product paid for and printed, ready to sell, and if we sold it all tomorrow, our ROI would skyrocket to 719%. Judges, what are you looking for in a business? Are you looking for passion? I'm extremely passionate. I love to sell stickers and I love to help people. Are you looking for someone who wants to do good in the world? Because I do good in the world. We love to donate and we love to make people's lives better. As you can see, this is one of the donations we donated to our local food bank, and that's me stuffing some envelopes for stickers. What else are you looking for? Are you looking for ROI? Mine is, I don't know averages actually, but I'm assuming mine is decent. Are you looking for money? I've made some money. Ultimately, my goal is to sell 1 million stickers in the next 3 to 5 years. I hope to do this, and I hope you all will join me in this noble cause to help as many people as possible. This is Just Be Rad, and thank you very much.
So what's your why? I know it was COVID, and you started thinking about why. Is it just positive vibes? Like, why are you doing this, and why would a consumer want to buy your sticker?
We do this because I think I have found that people love stickers. They love to reflect their values, beliefs, hobbies, anything really. I have found that it's the same in a lot of things. To use an example of one of our judges, I feel like people love to buy Vivint smart home alarms because they know it will keep them safe. And because that's something they value. I think people buy stance socks because a stance sock is comfortable. A stance sock looks cool. And ultimately, I think it's just because that's what people are interested in. People are interested in our stickers that carry these positive messages and knowing that it goes out to help something bigger than themselves.
Very cool.
What's your most popular sticker, and how do you do any market research that determines your next sticker?
So currently, our highest selling sticker is the Midway Utah sticker that you see there. It's one of our most high quality stickers, and it's sold biggest across this valley. Actually, in fact, today, as I was in the subway parking lot, I saw one of those stickers on somebody's car, which made me feel really good and totally awesome. And to answer the second part of that question, the whole we have sold kind of across the nation, but right now we are focusing on a lot of Utah-based things. People love skiing, people love mountain biking, and so currently we're trying to focus on a sticker that kind of shows people in Utah how they love the outdoors, things like that.
So you mentioned it's 50 cents per sticker?
Per sticker, yes.
Where do you have them made or manufactured?
So currently there, thank you, Dad. You said top secret.
Well, I say that because I'm going to assume that there's somewhere you could do it for substantially less. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'm right on this or not, but maybe 5 cents or 3 cents per sticker.
So here, can I see one of your stickers? So this Just Be Rad sticker right here actually costs us like 10 cents to print. It's a little lower quality. It's not waterproof. And then our higher quality ones, like our Midway sticker and the Just Be Rad are of higher quality, so it costs us 15 cents. So we use 2 different companies to print them for us. And one is Sticker Mule, and the other is Print Runner. And both of them give us a good price point for the sticker we're looking for.
I would go renegotiate with them. Just product cost on something like this, much low. I mean, you probably know better than I do. But that's, great job and what you've done to this point. If you can sell them for $5, it seems to me that that's a super awesome thing to attack, which is your cost structure. On your product, but the product design's very cool. You're very passionate about it. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All good? Awesome. That was rad. Thank
you. Okay, you guys, that was everyone. We want to thank you all for coming, and to our sponsors and our judges. We have some more sponsors, Davis Concrete and Align Org Solutions. Make sure you go vote for your favorite presentation with the link that you have on your pamphlets, and pick your top 3 and submit. Voting will close in 5 minutes. Repeat, voting will close in 5 minutes. During these 5 minutes, we'll have one of our past winners coming up. Welcome, Adam Pasaki. Give him a round of applause. Woo. And he's gonna tell us more about some other past winners. Here you go, Adam.
So much. Guys, it's heating up. It's a good competition this year. I'm super excited. I actually had the chance to interview Ashton Frost and Catherine Smoot. So we just watched Ashton Frost earlier. So we're gonna watch Catherine Smoot's video real quick, and I'll jump up right after that. I'm super excited. I'll see you in a sec.
Got it. Well, I mean, I kind of did mine and went back and adjusted, but whatever.
I'd love to take your guys' perspective. I just want to hear.
Okay, no worries. We're gonna, while they're getting that video up, I'm gonna share my story real quick. So I won 2019 years of Invest Nest, and it is so cool to see how much this competition has been stepped up. The presentations, the judges, the supporters, thank you so much for everything you've been doing. I started my company with Berg Spar Active Sportswear when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I moved out to Utah, and I was absolutely in love with the Utah lifestyle. So I made a clothing company. I made a sports brand, equipment brand, and I tried as hard as I could to get into some companies, into some stores around the area. I remember my whole high school career, I wasn't the traditional football player, basketball player. I just felt like I didn't really have a place in extracurricular programs here at Wasatch, and I found it in Invest Nest. Invest Nest is a place of people who are business-minded. They wanted to focus on their career, how to be successful, not just in high school, but much past that. And it was super cool to see how much Invest Nest and the supporters and the mentors and the judges helped me to focus on my business mind. And so me being part of Invest Nest was my motivation and inspiration to get me, when I'm going up to Fernway, over Midway, I went to the Fernway clothing store to try to get in the store. And I remember just being so nervous. My legs were shaking, and I was so scared of the big word, which is no. Get out of my store, right? But it was because of Invest Nest and the opportunities they provided here, it got me excited and motivated to go through that door with my idea and my plan, my business, and actually believe in what I was doing. And it's so cool to see all these students who really know what they're doing and who really believe in their product, and also some of the past winners So it's been super exciting, and I'm super excited for all that has to come tonight. Best of luck to all the competition. Get voting, get on your phones, and thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. We're excited.
Hi guys, I'm Catherine Smoot. I am the owner of KS Films, otherwise known as Catherine Smoot Films. I am a wedding and event photographer and videographer. The second year I got first place and I was completely blown away. Getting that grant of $10,000 out the door, I was just like, okay, people believe in me, like people want my work, people trust and react to my work through InvestNest. I have like, I think doubled my income from it, tripled maybe. I'm still doing photography and videography. I would say it's part-time, but lately it's felt like it's been full-time because I've been busy. My website, I've like updated that tremendously. I haven't been able to touch it in a while because I'm so happy with it. I've grown from about 5 weddings I took in the year I presented. I think I'm taking a little bit under 15. Be confident. My first year I wasn't confident at all. I remember this, I'll probably remember for the rest of my life, but I got up there my first time and I was like, I think I'm a great business, and then I tripped over my words and I was like, wait, I know I'm a great business. And all the judges laughed at me because you have to go up there and be like, I know I'm the best business here. You have to have that confidence. So the second year I went up there and I was like, this is my business, this is what I do. I want you guys to see who I am and like what I do. So that's my advice. Good luck.
Hey guys, while you wrap up your votes, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of the donors, all of the supportive parents. I love the concept of being entrepreneurial, and about 5 years ago, my business partner Brad Allen and I, so I'll introduce myself, my name is J.W. Davies. We had this idea, this concept, like, how do we motivate and awaken the entrepreneurial spirit of our youth? And how do we help them to be able to see the value that they can create in an economy? And just the concept of that there are no limits to value. And people will pay money, as we've learned tonight, for things that they find value in, and there's no limit on what that is. And if we all took if we only had $1 bill, and that's all the money that was printed, a lot of times people think, wow, we would be poor. And the reality is, no. If we had $1 bill and we passed that dollar bill through this whole audience 1,000,000 times in a day, we would all be very rich. And so the concept of adding value and creating an economy comes from within the passion and the creativity that we have as people. And so there's a reason why certain places are rich and certain places are poor, and a lot of it has to do with education, and a lot of it has to do with understanding. But we want to educate and uplift and empower our youth so that our future economy in the state of Utah can be even better. And so we love the youth. They are the future of our economy. They're the future of our state, and we love them very much. This year, InvestNest has received a lot of support. We received recognition from Jimmer Fredette, who's posted a really cool video that we're trying to show you, but we're having problems tonight. We've received support from Todd Peterson, and what a cool business that he started at Vivint. I mean, how much value has been created by a man who had a vision and started it in his garage. So many lives have been affected because of a dream and a passion. And we love having Lizzie here with us. And what value she's created in this community is fantastic. And Bo Euler is a personal friend of mine. He's been on Shark Tank, actually, the Shark Tank. And super cool for him. And so we're taking this program to the state. We're going to continue to inspire and uplift young people to be able to share their passion and values and be able to create value. And so thank you for donating to all you donors. And by the way, we have hundreds of people watching and streaming online. More people than we have, here in this room, although it's amazing support here as well. This year we raised $95,000 to give away to students. So. We counted the number of businesses that are still in existence today because of InvestNest that started about 5 years ago, and we could count 21. One of those students did over $1 million in revenue last year in his business. So.
Hey, JW, 95, you need to hit 100.
Right.
I'll do 5 for 100.
All right, Bo said he's going to get 5 and we just hit 100. So thank you to Bo. That's awesome. Thank you. Anyway, thank you for your support. I just love to be a part of this and appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Thank you so much.
Awesome, dude. This is rad. Oh, so cool. Yeah.
No, dude, I grew up in Idaho, man. We could barely read from that. You were fine, you're graduating.
Do it, Ty. Ty.
Which one? No, like the fence and the debt and the loss and the win.
Well, so they're goading me on. I don't know what they want to talk about. But here's what I'm going to say. Are we mostly parents out here? Most parents or family? So here's what they were trying to get me to talk about how I started my business, but it's so boring. I'm not going to talk about that. I was broke and was desperate to pay rent and had no money for tuition. That's kind of how it happens, which is the point of what I wanted to say that I've been thinking about while I've been sitting here. For whatever's going on in this community, the parenting, the social aspect, the families, the friends of the students here is really, really cool. And the reason I say that is a lot of times when people have privilege, and look, everyone lives in this area, we have privilege. Some have more money than others, but we're all privileged to be in an area that there's freedoms and there's opportunities and there's choices. And there used to be a lot of freedom of speech, not as much as that anymore, but Elon Musk might prevail, or hopefully, sorry. But the fact that these students, and I'm sure there are many others that are kind of business-minded and are creative and don't feel like they're entitled just because of the neighborhoods they live in and the cars their parents drive And I mean, this school is like, I've never been in a nicer school in my life. And sometimes that's like kind of a negative. It's like a drag on creativity with students because the desperation mode's not there. The need to create because of lack of opportunity is not there. So I wanted to say congratulations to all of you for inspiring these students and others to like dig in deep at a very young age and figure out what they're about, what they can do to create an economic environment for themselves, for other people. I think it's tremendous and commendable. So good job to all you out there. And then what did you guys? What were you saying you guys wanted to talk about? You guys were arm wrestling over who's going to speak first.
Talking about social, like how do people get out there, like create a brand and then.
Oh my gosh,
out there.
Okay, this is embarrassing. You did amazing. Okay. My mom, I just saw my mom out here. Hi, Mom. Okay, so everybody kind of knows our story, and I'm a different kind of, I don't know, our story's backwards, huh, Mom? But anyways, my mom started the brand Food Nanny many years ago, and then the brand basically died. Back then when she had it, there was no social media, there was no just all the new things that have now come, right? No, she didn't blog, she didn't have an Instagram, she didn't have any of that kind of stuff. But she did have a little TV show, which we're super proud of, huh, Mom? Anyways, but I felt like her message of family dinner time needed to be brought back more than ever. Just because I was the baby of 7 kids, and it's the way that we were raised. And anyways, I was taught how to work super hard by both of my parents. They've instilled that in me like crazy. And so I believed in the message, and I felt like I wanted to bring it back. And social media is the hardest thing you will ever do, but it is honestly one of the greatest things you'll ever do. And I think that you do get to a point in your life, like everybody's got a story, like Todd said, that, he was broke and needed it. And it's like, both my mom and I were both at a time in our lives where we needed it more than ever. And I feel like that's where you can dig deep and work like a dog, as we call it. It's working like a dog. Anyways, but the social media aspect it's insane. It can take you to a whole nother level. And it's beautiful. You're reaching the entire world. I mean, more than just right here. It's like, JW just said that they're live streaming it everywhere. It's amazing what our world now can do. I've got followers that are all over the world. We have a shipping that, our shipping is way bigger than what our store is down in Salt Lake City. But when you believe and you have a passion for what you do, you can do big things. And it's been an amazing experience, and I'm very humbled, and it's very fun. Anyways, and one day I'm gonna have a Porsche like Todd. And Bo has a Porsche too. You go, Bo. Get up there.
Are we all done?
Hey, I heard you sing.
Oh, gosh.
No. Are you sure? I heard you did. No?
Bo, go.
Are we ready yet?
Bo sings. Do we want to hear from Bo? He has an incredible voice.
I do not sing, but I talk. So a couple of things that I'll add. So what Todd has built and what Lizzie's built is they've dedicated their life to a brand, building a company, building a model, employing other people. I don't do that. What happens is companies come to me for me to build that brand. So I own a design agency in which companies that you've all heard of come and say, help us create the next thing. Okay, like Amazon, for example, will come and say, help us create the future of Alexa. Or Stan Socks will come and say, help us create the future of apparel, or whatever that is. And so we get to foresee what is coming in the future and then create that thing that's going to create what we call lust, right? Consumer lust. So when you're thinking about launching a business and launching a brand, I just want you to keep in mind 2 things. Yes, of course you need to have a business model that makes sense. You need to make sure that the numbers make sense and that you're going to make money and that your investors are going to make money. But what I want you to think about also is that you need to create something that people are going to care about. Okay, and that's that emotional connection. And so yes, we saw some really cool technology tonight. We ate some delicious foods tonight. Like, those are all great. But honestly, nobody cares about the technology until it's put into a form or put into a product or put into something that they can adopt into their life, that they can say, ooh, I want that. In fact, sometimes you may have even had the experience where you see something, you don't even know what it is, but you want it, right? It's because there's this emotional connection between an inanimate object or brand and you as a human being. And really, there should be no reason that we have emotional connection to things, and yet we do. So as you think about your companies and startups that you want to launch in life, always think about the person, think about the consumer that you want to have buy this thing, and ask yourself, how am I going to create an emotional connection between this thing that I'm creating and that person? And then lean into that and create that emotional connection so you create that lust and create something that they just can't live without. When you do that, then it makes the rest of the job easy, right? It's like, of course I want that because I know that I can trust it. Of course I want, these certain grains because I know that it's gonna taste better. And so just think about how you can create that emotional connection, lean into it, and then just own that in the market.
Love it.
You guys are amazing. This is so cool. I wish I had this when I was in high school.
Well, my message is going to be very brief. I'm willing to kill a little time like the rest. But first of all, I'm pretty privileged tonight to be sitting here with who's who of business in our area and beyond. Let's give these three amazing judges a big round of applause. I want to just share my story a little bit, and many of you have heard it, but I've had a front row seat in watching our school district and our community grow. People often ask me, when did you start in Wasatch County School District? They're talking about which year, how long have you been the superintendent? Well, I started in Wasatch County School District in kindergarten. I'm homegrown. I'm born and raised right here in this valley. My folks, my progenitors helped settle this place, and I've always been very fiercely proud of Wasatch County and the Hebrew Valley. And I want to tell you that our school district has grown and turned into a school district that takes in many visitors from not only around the state but the country to see what we're doing and how we're doing it. Todd hit on something. This is a special place. There's some special things going on in this little valley, and it's because of the people. And it's because of not only the old timers like me that've been here for 6 generations, but because of all the new people that are moving here as well, and the mix that we have. And this whole CAPS program, I just want to offer my gratitude to all the people that have made this CAPS program a reality in Wasatch County School District. And if I start mentioning names, I'll leave some folks out. But I'll tell you, Dr. Jason Watt, this was his brainchild. He brought this to the board. Weston Broadbent, our amazing director of CAPS, that brings a lot of, give him a round of applause. And then all of these amazing people, where I'm gonna stop at those two because I'll leave someone else out. But JW that got a hold of me and said, hey, come be a judge, and had it all lined out and has this thing planned down to the minute. And all the guys, when you walk in the room, here I am mentioning names, and I shouldn't have started that. The Ballsteads and the Labrams and all the people that are here making this work. This is not ran by the school district. This is a true partnership where every one of these kids, as they enter the CAPS program, they have these awesome mentors. I'll never forget the day I was heading out of town, and I got a call from Dr. Steve Stevens, this awesome doctor that moved to our valley, and he said, hey, I'm retiring. I happened to bump into him out in the North Fields. We share a fence out there. And he said, I've heard about this CAPS program, and I'd like to get involved. I'd like to spend a day a week. Now we have Dr. Stevens every day. He's been a huge part of it. And we could go on and name all of the other folks, all of the people on the CAPS board, all of our all of our mentors that give time to our kids, all the mentors in the room, please stand up. Everybody that is involved in CAPS from the community standpoint, as a mentor, please don't be shy. Stand up. Stand up tall. Let's give all these guys a big round of applause. Thank you. What these students are learning and from whom they're learning it from is absolutely outstanding. I could not be more proud of the Wasatch County School District and these amazing presentations that we saw tonight. Just it would knock anybody's socks off. I say, take me anywhere in the country where you see this going on this well. I would say you'll be very hard pressed to find it. Let's have one more big round of applause. Thank you for being here. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, so the votes are in, so voting is now closed. I just want to thank you so much for coming out again. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And then we want to give one more huge thank you to our Blue Sage Ranch title sponsor. And so I'm going to read the 10 through 4 results. They're in no particular order, so if their names are read, they're in no order. And then we ask that you please hold your applause through 10 through 4 until we get to that point, okay? Okay. Okay, so in our first three, because I'm gonna read 3 names and they're gonna read 3 names, so it's just totally random. At first, we have Levi Chanel, Elizabeth Ann Grace, and we have James Kreger.
Right. And then we have Jeffrey Pine and Kyle Daniels. And then we have Pure Solutions and the Foot Sensor. Okay, now we're gonna go to our third place. Let's scoot to the side. Okay, we have some nice big checks as well. So for third place, we have Alejandro Chavez, Saks Auto. Our second place winners are Lily Powell and Toby Powell.
All right, and then for this year's 2022 Invest Nest for our $20,000 prize goes to Isaac Hardy.
All right, thank you guys for making it out to this event. It means the world to my team, and I'm sure the judges as well. Just to make it clear, all of these guys are winners up here. It doesn't matter about the money, it's about the experience. Being here is an experience in itself. Talking to these amazing judges, just learning the advice and talking to them is reward enough. But 4 through 10, they all win $1,000, so no one went away with no money. Kind of making it up here guarantees success. So thank you guys so much for being here, and then parents, family, friends. You guys want to come up here and take pictures with your kids, you're more than welcome to, but we gotta kind of head out soon. So thank you so much.
And if you guys want to get pictures, you get pictures of all the judges. Thank you, Bo and Todd and Lizzie and Paul for coming, and thanks for our donors and our investors and our admin and everyone and the audience. Thank you all for coming and people online. So we'll get some good photos. Okay, you guys want to come here? Come on.
10.